Jon Bones Jones is often mentioned as one of the greatest fighters to ever step into the cage, but he's also one of the most troubled and controversial ones. Since joining the UFC in his early 20s, Jones has been a fixture in the spotlight. As we've watched him over the years, we've seen many highs, including several championship victories, but we've also witnessed many lows, involving arrests and legal troubles. Despite his long career and high profile, there's still many things about Jones that even dedicated MMA fans might not know. Did you know that at some point he could have become a pastor? Or what about the tragic and painful death of his mom and sister? Or what about the heavy recent rumors about him being homosexual? Please allow me to give you 10 crazy facts about Jonathan Dwight Jones. Number 10. He stopped a robbery the day he became UFC champion. It might be hard to believe now, but Jon Jones wasn't always seen as the bad boy of MMA. Early in his career, he was known for his faith, good sportsmanship, and even for being a hero. On the day he won his first title fight against Mauricio Shogun Rua, Jones actually stopped a robbery. Just hours before the fight, while heading to the park with his two coaches to meditate, he encountered an elderly couple calling for help. They explained that a man had just broken into their car and stolen from them. Jones quickly took action, chased down the robber, and held him until the police arrived. Hey, who would have thought that years later it would be Jones running and hiding from the police? Number 9. He comes from a family of athletes. The Jones family is seriously tough, and they're making their mark across the sports world. Arthur Jones, the eldest, is a giant at 6'3" and 337 pounds that used to be an American football defensive end who played 8 seasons in the NFL. He played college football at Syracuse before the Baltimore Ravens picked him in the 5th round of the 2010 NFL Draft. He won the Super Bowl 48 with them and later played for the Indianapolis Colts and Washington Redskins. The youngest, Chandler, he's 34 and is an American football defensive end who's currently a free agent. He played college football with the Syracuse Orange and was drafted by the New England Patriots in the 1st round by the 2012 NFL Draft. Since then, he's also played for the Arizona Cardinals and the Las Vegas Raiders. As for Jon Jones, we already know that he's considered by most analysts and fighters as the greatest to ever do it inside the octagon. Do you agree with that statement? Let me hear your opinion in the comments. Number 8. At some point, he wanted to be a pastor. Jones is widely recognized not just for his fighting skills, but also for his deep faith. He often begins his post-fight interviews by thanking God or Jesus, reflecting the religious upbringing he had. His father is a pastor at Mount Sinai Church of God in Christ in New York, and initially Jon considered following in his father's footsteps to become a pastor himself. His father supported this idea, but Jon ultimately chose a different direction, setting his sights on a career in MMA and the world of combat sports. Regardless of him not becoming a pastor, he still had some strong faith in the higher power, which would play a crucial role for him to endure the tragic deaths of 2 very close loved ones that would occur later in his life. So stay tuned and find out about it later in this video. Number 7. He was the first fighter to be sponsored by Nike. Jon's ascent to fame in the world of MMA was swift and remarkable. When he entered the scene, many still viewed MMA as a fringe sport, only recently shedding its notorious label as human cockfighting. Jones played a significant role in transforming this perception through his appearance and articulate manner. He made history by becoming the first fighter to secure a global sponsorship deal with Nike, a landmark achievement not just for him, but for the entire sport of MMA. The company went on to release a signature shoe known as the Nike Free Trainer 5.0 Jon Bones Jones. They reportedly sold out in 2 minutes. He also had a signature Nike t-shirt released at the same time as his shoe, which also sold out on the very first day of its launch. His sponsorship was a major milestone, highlighting MMA's evolution into a mainstream sport and solidifying Jon's status as a pivotal figure in its growth. Number 6. He's the youngest UFC champion. At just 23 years old, Jon Jones captured the UFC light heavyweight title from Mauricio Shogun Rua at UFC 128, becoming the youngest champion ever in UFC history. Jones wasn't even supposed to fight for the belt. He got the call to step in as a replacement for Rashad Evans, who had pulled out from the fight. The stakes were high for Jones, a relative newcomer with a unique fighting style that combined agility, creativity, and raw power. Despite his youth and inexperience compared to Shogun, Jones delivered a stunning performance, dominating and finishing him in the 3rd round. By the way, that record still holds to this date, and to be honest with you, I don't see that record being broken anytime soon. Or do you think there's a potential prospect that could break it? Let me hear your opinions in the comments. Number 5. The origin of his nickname. Jon Jones has always been an exceptional athlete, which isn't surprising considering the athletic prowess that runs in his family. Like his brothers Arthur and Chandler, who both pursued careers in professional football, Jones also played football during his high school days. Despite being somewhat slender for the position, Jones was a defensive lineman. His lean build stood out enough that his coach nicknamed him Bones, a moniker that stuck with him as he transitioned from the football field to the octagon. By the way, it's still surprising to me how those skinny legs can take hard kicks without breaking, or even taking some kind of damage. Number 4. Both his sister and his mom died in a painful way. Jones might seem like he's always smiling when he's not in the octagon, but he's faced some really tough times. When he was just 13 years old, he lost his older sister Carmen to brain cancer. She was diagnosed and quickly became ill, ultimately passing away at only 17 years of age. Imagine how painful that must have been for a young Jon. But that's not the only loss he suffered. In 2017, after a long and painful battle with diabetes, his mom Camilla died at the age of 55. These tough experiences have really tested Jones' mental strength. And by the way it looks, it seems like they only made him stronger. Number 3. The rumors about his sexuality. Recent videos circulating online suggest that Jones might be struggling with aspects of his identity that he is yet to publicly acknowledge. These speculations stem from his behavior in certain videos, where his actions and words seem to hint at a hidden personal truth, possibly about his sexuality. In one particular video from a low-key comedy show, Jones appears noticeably inebriated and is seen acting affectionately with a male companion, calling him cutie and engaging in what could be considered flirtatious behavior. He's even caught on camera placing his hand in an intimate manner on his friend's body. Observers and fans are parsing these actions, wondering if they might be clues to understanding the real Jon Jones. Some fans and commentators suggest that Jones' struggles with identity might explain some of his more controversial actions outside the ring, including legal issues and conflicts. The hypothesis is that these could be external manifestations of an internal conflict about his sexuality. At the end, each person is free to do whatever makes them happy, if it doesn't include harming other people, of course. So whether it's true or not that Jon Jones feels attraction for other men, it's completely up to him to reveal it or not. Number 2. All his arrests and legal issues. Well, there's a lot of good to Jones. He's also faced a series of legal challenges throughout his career, which have complicated his public image and professional life. In 2012, he crashed his Bentley in New York and was arrested for DUI. On April 27, 2015, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, he was involved in a hit-and-run incident that left a pregnant woman injured. Despite turning himself in and posting bail, the incident led to him being stripped of his UFC title and suspended indefinitely. In 2019, he was involved in an incident with a cocktail waitress in Albuquerque, leading to a no-contest plea to a battery charge. In March 2020, Jones was again arrested in Albuquerque for DWI and negligent use of a firearm, resulting in a plea deal that included house arrest and probation. Then about a year later, in September 2021, shortly after being inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame, Jones was arrested in Las Vegas following a domestic incident at Caesars Palace. Allegedly, there was an altercation between Jones and his fiancée. Although the domestic battery charge was later dropped, Jones faced a felony charge for damaging a police vehicle. Most recently, in 2024, Jones was summoned by the Albuquerque Police Department for allegedly assaulting a drug testing agent from Drug Free Sport, who was at his home to collect a urine sample for the UFC's anti-doping program. Number 1. He has the most title defenses in UFC history. Jon Jones has the most title defenses in UFC history. He first grabbed the light heavyweight title in 2011. He went on to defend that belt 13 times, facing some of the toughest competitors in the division. He took on formidable opponents, defeating them all, and he never lost a title match during his time as champion. I mean, take a look at his impeccable resume. The level of competition he faced and defeated is really impressive. Not for nothing, he's considered by most the true and only GOAT of MMA. In March 2020, he decided to give up the light heavyweight title and move up to the heavyweight division. And after a 3-year layoff, he fought and defeated Cyril Gane, becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion and cementing even more his GOAT status. Which of these facts surprised you the most? Go ahead and tell us your valuable opinion in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn the notifications on so you won't miss any of our videos. That's it for today. Until then, remember to protect yourself at all times.